What's going on, boys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to go over the tactics layout. A couple of things. In case you're not new, in case you're new here, keep watching. If you're not new here, you can just skip this video. The reason why there was no update because there was no changes. It was a very good setup last week. It worked very, very well from a lot of you guys. There's a few minor things I'll talk about, and if you are new here, I'm going to explain. To save you some time, we're going to go through all the tactics. This is like an anti-press, anti-constant press tactic, one to close out the game. This is, for example, if you're losing and you need to press your opponent. We have one balanced tactic and then one which is a bit more attacking. So the idea is you incrementally go up if you are losing and you incrementally go down if you are winning. So you have a formation for every aspect of the game. One to defend, one to press, one to play balance. Now, we're not going to go over the tactics again because we've already gone through. So if you're new here, you can literally just copy and paste what you see. And for those that are also the old viewers from last week, I'll explain to you some changes that I'm thinking of making next week, not this week. So these are tactics for the 4-3-3. Nothing has changed here. Don't forget, with this formation, you defend in a 5-defender formation and you have 2 CDMs. So when you're attacking, that means when you have the ball, you'll have a backline of 5 and 2 CDMs. There's not one formation in the entire game that replicates this system. You're going to see a lot of players start using this. Now, this formation is extremely, extremely good. A couple of things I want to mention. The depth, if you're on new gen, feel free to increase the depth when the game goes on. I think I mentioned this last week as well. And for those of you that are new here, just feel free to pause this while I just go on some tirade talking about some couple of things that I want to change. What I would say is, for the old viewers who used this last week, it's a very, very good formation. If you find the depth, especially on new gen, and don't forget this is the guy that drops in between the defenders, make sure you put like a center mid or at least someone that's quite versatile here, like a Bernardo Silva. What I would say is, you can increase the depth if you want to, and the width is what I would say, especially if you're on new gen. I think people on new gen, what they're doing is they're leaving the width a bit balanced and increase the depth. You can do that. That's completely fine. The 4-2-3-1 is still very, very good. Again, I just copy and paste these. You can use both direct pass or forward runs. Again, I prefer forward runs. Yes, I might be in a minority, but I definitely prefer, and that's what I'm trying to say to you, use both. Use both and see which one suits you, because everyone keeps saying to me, oh, you know what, my tactics have stopped working. Guys, your tactics are not stopped working. It's because you're versing better. It's a sweatiest weekend league. Don't expect there's going to be some tactic that's going to make you walk past everyone. Half people, they lose 5 games in a row, they'll end up being 0-5 and start going YouTube searching tactics, and that's it. And you think a new tactic's going to save them. It doesn't work like that. Keep the tactics that you got. Now, what it is to say is, people have been asking, like, okay, let's say this is the only feedback, probably the 50-50 feedback I've had. People are saying with this formation, that is a bit of a problem because the cams on stay forward. Now, I'll explain to you the reason why I did it. The reason why is this formation is sometimes a bit too defensive if, for example, you are below, I would say rank 5 and below. And those players, they prefer to have a striker and a cap. Even though they don't think about it, trust me from experience, I know, it's better for them to build up like that because it plays them a bit slower. And that way you got like a 4-4-1-1. They've got like 2 strikers. It's perfect for the 1-2s. Now, the only downside is if you're defending with this formation, you might find that you have 2 CDMs left mid, right mid, and you have like the 2 strikers in front. And then you're going to find that if this guy's here and this guy's here, then in between your midfield 4 and your 2 strikers, your opponent can play around there. If you're in that, let's say for example, it's half time. Yeah, let's say you're like to me, okay, you know what, Neil, it's half time. I'm using this formation. I don't need to go to Park the Bus or ultra defensive. I want to stand this formation, but I feel like I'm losing that midfield presence. Just feel free to put the cam on comeback and defense. That way you bring that cam player back. And you can use that cam player to create like a 3-man midfield to outnumber your opponent or at least to match him. And people are struggling against that, especially with the 3-5-2. Just change it, guys. If it doesn't work, guys, just change it. You know, don't think, okay, I said something, so it has to be that way. No, if you find something is like, let's say, for example, you have 2 strikers on stay forward. And let's say you're closing out. And let's say you don't want to go to this formation because you're comfortable with this one. Just put everyone on comeback and defense, reduce the depth, reduce the width yourself. Don't just think, okay, you know what, I'm in the game. I got to leave like this because Neil said so. You don't need to. You can change things. If you see, obviously, if you're not sure, then don't change it. But like, if you see by common sense that, okay, you know what, my team's a bit too high up the pitch, my striker needs to come back on defense quicker, then you can change it. Same thing with 3-5-2, use direct pass and forward runs. Similar tactics when the game came out, everything exactly the same. Nothing is basically new here. And to be honest, nothing will change with this 3-5-2. I've kept this since the day the game came out, this 3-5-2, and I told you all it will eventually become the meta, and as we know it's have, so that's why there's no changes. Okay, so I know every other YouTuber is dabbling around making these small changes for no reason. I'm not gonna sit here and make a change for no reason, to be honest. You guys know I'm not that kind of guy. And the left on the back and right side might overlap. So there's gonna be no changes that I know of 3-5-2. maybe a small things here and there, and that's about it. Then we go over to the 4-4-2. Now, one thing people have been saying to me is, some of you know, this is only particular for those that have been using the 4-4-2 the entire time. Some of you guys have been saying, you know what, the 4-4-2, I actually like using it. Let's say if I'm losing 1-0, or if I'm trying to blitz my weekend league, let's say you start your weekend league and you're trying to blitz it. People like using the 4-4-2 to apply pressure. Now, it can be used for the entire game. I would say, to be honest, without sounding, I don't want to sound, what's the correct word here? I don't want to undermine anyone, but let's say, for example, you're a lower tier player and you know you struggle with this formation, just keep it ultra attacking. For the rank 1 and 2 and 3 players that may use this for the entire game, remember they use team press. Now, if you're using this, let's say as just your ultra attacking tactic, just put constant pressure on. Because what I'm finding is a lot of players is that when they're inside the game, and I've noticed this, that 70 minutes, they will use my 4-4-2, but they won't use team press. Sometimes they'll be in the mood inside the game and they'll forget about using team press with the D-pad tactics, or they just won't know how to use it at all. So if you only use this formation just purely as a comeback, let's say your opponent's wasting time lobbing the ball from left back to right back and you need to get back into the game, then just put constant pressure on this formation. Because a lot of people have been asking me about this, especially in Discord as well. Don't forget, Discord link is down below. Should be in the description. I think you can just type in neal.to/Discord in your browser and it should take you to that link. But yeah, so that's something that you can consider as well. Just putting constant pressure on. But I use position loss because sometimes if my opponent, or let's say I'm in a game and I'm 2-0 down, okay? The 4-2-3-1 is a very good formation. But sometimes I want to be a bit more pressing and I want AI to help me out a little bit. And that's why we've got press off position loss on. Yes, you can use team press on 4-2-3-1, but it's not the same as press off position loss. You can you trick your opponent because your team, they just press instantly for 7 seconds. So what I would say is, if you are going to use this formation, do use press after possession loss. Instructions: stay central, come back in defense for both the strikers, left mid, right mid, come back in defense. And of course, no video sponsor, but this video is sponsored by myself, patreon.com/NealGuides. Don't forget, a new month has started. We're going to do some more tutorials, new videos as well coming out this week, this month and this week, of course. Of course, we have all the Division 10 all the way to Elite Division series. We're going to create a new series as well. Some games in the Elite Division, I would say, once we get back there. I think that would be a really, really good thing to show you guys how to play there. And also going to show some games as well from the Weekend League. And just a few more things that should be able to help you. And of course, Division 10 to Elite Division Series. But that was just something to bear in mind. But anyway, back to the video. Link is down below in the description. Both centre mids, one's on stay back, cover centre. The other one's on balance. I don't know why. Maybe that's why. I was wondering why Declan Rice is always kind of unbalanced, but yeah, it's the other way around. Most attacking guy unbalanced, and left back and right back on stay back. Now, my team, the way it's set up is something like this, okay? So I just recently bought team of the season Messi, a few minor things. Now, the reason why I've done it this way is when I go back to the 4-3-3, Hakimi is one of my back five when I'm attacking. And then I have two native CDMs. Then when I use... here I have Cancelo. Now Cancelo normally would go striker. Now you think I'm joking? That's team of the year Cancelo. He's one of the best strikers in this game I've used. Yeah, you can laugh now. Just watch when everyone starts doing it and you'll see what I'm talking about. For those that have used it, you know he's that good. But I left him as a left mid and right mid just in a 4-2-1 to be a bit more defensive. That's the reason why. But in the 3-5-2, the attacking formation, I have Eusebio, Mkhitaryan and Messi up front. What I do sometimes is I just put Mkhitaryan sometimes as a ram. Normally I would have Cancelo in striker. In case you're wondering why is Cancelo become less a striker? No. It's in a 3-5-2. You got perfect 3-5-2. You got the left mid and right mid being both team of the years. It doesn't really make a big difference. So because I got team of the year Messi now, I think it pretty much takes a veto of any other player's dribbling. It's so silky. One that if you like left dribbling, you have to use this Messi. He's so smooth, so good on the ball. Both CDMs as well, very native CDMs. They of course got left centre back and a right centre back. And then the same with the 4-4-2. Kimi just goes in midfield and we drop Kakare to right back because we still want that presence in midfield. But yeah, that is it. For next week, we might just change a couple of things on the 4-2-3-1. I am considering making a tactical setup where I have a defensive, a balanced and attacking one. Because to be honest, I don't know what else content to make. I thought, you know what, let me just do this because these videos always do somewhat well, to be honest. I thought, you know what, Mars will make use of it, number one. And apologies. I'm trying to think of a better system. I'll be honest, I just assumed that everyone would probably think that the tactics haven't been updated because I didn't upload the video. But there's no changes. And I said, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to make a video for no reason. But I understand if I don't make it, then people are going to think, oh, has Neil just forgot? So apologies on that. I'll just make the video and like I did today. I'll just tell you that nothing has changed. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. And of course, I'll catch you next time. Peace out, guys.